on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Good evening, Marilyn. I'll talk softer this time. You touched on something that I was going to ask anyways about tourism and about finding ways to drive some folks from Las Vegas out to Mesquite. Throw me an example or two of how you may be able to help a process like that move along.
So honestly, we're already having those discussions. What I will tell you, there's a large event, an Australian event that is coming to town that's about music. One of the places that we've asked them to come is to look at Mesquite. We know that Mesquite has a big sports love that people come to all the time, so we're doing everything that we can to ensure that Mesquite itself has the tools to provide the space and the rooms, as well as all of the needs that come along with those conventions. So we have already been working in that direction to ensure that Mesquite Sports Complex, they have one of the most amazing sports complexes in the state, and we would like to see it grow, and we're seeing tourism grow as a whole out here. In conjunction with that, we're also working with the workforce so that we can ensure that we have the growth of the workforce as tourism grows.
Okay, now we're going to switch back. So Marilyn, Let's Talk Nevada, along with, I would assume, the other media, have been requesting for several weeks that our readers give us questions that they want to have asked by candidates. So this question is from one of our Let's Talk readers. Mrs. Kirkpatrick, as Speaker of the Assembly in 2014, you had amassed a significant war chest of campaign funds in your Assembly District Campaign Funds account. But you were termed out and any more campaigns by you for the State Assembly. You didn't use much of that many of those campaign funds war chest to help fellow Democrats retain their seats. And you recently transferred about $275,000 of those funds from your Assembly District campaign account to your campaign for this county commission race. Do you feel any responsibility for the Democrats who lost control of the State Assembly in 2014 for not helping them out a little more?
So what I would explain, and I'm not sure that many folks here would understand, we have the ability to set up PACs. That's a political action committee, and you can go and look at that. It's the Western Leadership PAC, and I did donate plenty to many of our caucus members as well as our candidates that were running. We spent thousands of dollars at the trying to get phone banks, trying to get Democrats engaged. What I will say, 29 legislatures across the country flipped. We were working, we were tirelessly out there. All of the money in the world, I don't know, would have driven Democrats out at some point. But what I would say is I spent tons, and it's more about money. It's more than just about money. It's about getting people out, getting people to the polls. We were driving people at 6 o'clock on that night to the polls in all districts. I walked several districts myself outside of my own district. So I believe that the Assembly worked very hard. I believe they're very determined to get the majority back this time. And as I've always mentored and helped many of them, I will definitely help ensure that that happens, because without the Assembly Democrats being in charge or the Senate in one house, there's a lot of things that we as Democrats stand to lose. Last time we worked very hard to protect the things that we value so much. So I will tell you that we're all working in the same direction this time.
Okay, the next question is for Steve. Do you think that the Clark County Commission should, like the city of Las Vegas, ban quote-unquote puppy mills, which for the audience that is defined as the retail sale of any pets not obtained from animal shelters, nonprofit humane societies, or nonprofit animal rescue organizations? And if yes, how would that be fair to people who own pet stores and people who breed animals for a living?
I don't believe it would, actually. And that bill or that ordinance in the city of Las Vegas that was passed, I voted against because there is one store that would affect in the city of Las Vegas in Boca Park. And that's all that really did. It didn't affect any puppy mills anywhere in this country. It injured one business and they had to lay off employees. So that bothered me a great deal. I'm a big job supporter. We just came out of the most horrific recession any of us are going to see in our lifetime. So the loss of one job is unacceptable to me. I think other things could be done in regards to the puppy mill issue instead of just banning puppies from puppy mills in pet stores. There's a lot of opportunities, and many of you probably have adopted a pet, and that's a great thing, and probably the best animal that you've ever had in your life. Certainly my wife and I have had that experience as well. But we've also bought dogs from puppy stores that have been fabulous pets. We've even bred dogs ourselves with champion dog breeders. So I get that experience, I get that understanding, but that bill or that ordinance had nothing to do with shutting down not one puppy mill in this country.
Commissioner, same question to you on the police request for $10 million. Would you support it? Your opponent says that the county should have passed that sales tax increase. If you support it, where would you get the money from?
Here's what I tell you. Since 2005, I helped write the legislation with Commissioner Jim Kiliani so that we can ensure that we had more officers on the streets, as well as the strip, but in our neighborhoods, right? That was part of the bill, that many of them had to be in the neighborhoods. What I would say is, in the legislature, we tried to do it several times. It's a matter of counting the numbers. I supported what was before the county commission because at the same time, especially folks in Mesquite, there were not enough police officers at all, and they, in order to maintain what they have, without that passing, they would have not had any. Public safety has to be first and foremost on anybody's mind, whether you're a tourist coming in, whether you're a resident who has been here. What I am telling you is I've been working for a long-term solution, which is looking at a funding source that is there for all the time. Because when growth happens, it's not always going to come from sales tax. It's going to come from residents, and I believe that everybody should be part of the solution. So we're already talking about the $10 million. We also know that property tax is going to come in low next year, so we are looking for different abilities to pay, whether it's one-shot monies, but we are working in the Southern Nevada Forum as a whole to find a public safety funding mechanism for 20 years from now.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the Clean Indoor Air Act. There's a group here in Mesquite that is quite vocal about wanting to ban smoking inside of casinos here. Local jurisdictions do have a lot of control with the Clean Indoor Air Act now. What's your sense on that debate, and where do you stand on that issue?
Who likes going into a smoky casino? Raise your hand. I know. You guys probably smoke. I understand that. It's a significant issue nationwide, for smoking anywhere in public. And I think that a lot of casinos have the ability to adjust to that customer and to that client. If you think about our airport, McCarran International Airport, they've got areas for the passengers to smoke. The air scrubbers is what I call them. Get rid of the smoke. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, and I think that's what the general consensus of the population is going to want. We've done it in taverns, and some taverns cheat. I'm sure you've all been in some that do. You see people smoking, and that's just how it is. The smoking police aren't out there every day to catch you, but it's a significant issue right now. The public health is serious right now when it comes to smoking, so I fully support that.
Okay, Steve, let's continue with this smoking thing. There'll be a vote this November on the legalization of recreational marijuana in Nevada.
I'm on fire.
If it's approved, Clark County will obviously be the focal point of the new industry. And the border cities, such as Mesquite, will also be significantly impacted if that ballot initiative is approved. Do you favor or oppose the recreational use of marijuana in Nevada?
I'm not a big fan of narcotics to begin with, and I'm not going to call marijuana a narcotic because it does have the health benefits for a lot of people suffering some serious, significant illnesses. I think it's the wave of the future. A lot of things are changing in our day and age, and I think that ballot initiative is going to be approved. I honestly think they have the votes today to make it a reality in Nevada. My issue is this. When we got the When the legislature forced upon the local governments that they had to deal with this instead of the legislature, the state taking responsibility and demonstrating leadership on this issue, they pushed it down to local governments. When that happened, I said, let's do this, City of Las Vegas. Let's go to Clark County and the other municipalities, and let's have, across the board, all of our regulations are all the same. And that's not what happened. When our staff went over to Clark County said, no, thank you. We'll do our own Las Vegas. And that bothered me. Because now we've had a set of standards in the City of Las Vegas for medical marijuana, and the county has a different set of standards right now for medical marijuana, and we're having to deal with that and adjust to that. In regards to the recreational, I think we all have some apprehensiveness about it. I think it's a significant issue. But I also think that people who want to smoke marijuana are doing it anyway recreationally, whether we are letting them or not. Should we not be gaining tax revenue on that? Perhaps that's the revenue we need that needs to go into our police departments or our education or something to that effect.